Hello, my friend. Welcome to our channel, Healing Sleep Stories. My name is Mushroom, and it is an honor to be your guide tonight. This is a space for you to let go, to rest. So take a slow breath and exhale gently. Now, let's step through the door together into a story that will soothe your soul and lull you to sleep. You don't need to do anything. Just lie back and listen. Let your thoughts unravel like threads in warm water. Everything that needs your attention can wait until morning. For now, this time is yours. Your body knows how to rest. Your mind knows how to let go, and your spirit, it remembers peace. So close your eyes or keep them soft. Feel the bed cradle your body. Feel the breath slowing and the stillness growing. You're not alone, and soon you'll drift into a deep, gentle sleep, guided by stories wrapped in moonlight. Let's begin. You begin in a room that smells like honey and wood smoke. The floor creaks gently under your feet as you step further in. Around you, hundreds of candles flicker, not harsh, just soft pinpricks of golden warmth floating in the dim. Their flames sway in a silent rhythm, like a breath the room itself is taking. The walls are deep mahogany, the kind that soaks in the light rather than reflects it, and the ceiling stretches high, lost in shadow. The air is still and thick, like velvet. You can feel it settling over your shoulders. There's no need to move quickly here. The candles will wait for you. As you walk deeper into the room, your footsteps echo faintly, and you notice something strange about the flickering lights. Each flame seems to hold a different scent, a different color temperature. Some cool and blue like winter twilight, others warm and pulsing like the last light of summer. You pass a table where a brass holder cradles a single beeswax candle, meted into a shallow spiral. A soft voice in your memory whispers, "The first candles were made from whale fat, you know, in ancient China about 200 BC. You didn't know, but the thought makes you smile a little. You picture someone very serious, trying to sleep next to a glowing chunk of whale blubber. Not quite lavender-scented aromatherapy. The candlelight dances gently across shelves of books, ink pots, and dried herbs. There's a parchment pinned to the wall with looping script, barely legible, but still you recognize a familiar word: hypnos. Historians still argue whether the Greeks believed Hypnos actually lived in a cave surrounded by poppies, or if that was just poetic metaphor. Either way, poppies make excellent wallpaper in here. There's a vase of them on the corner shelf, their red petals drooping like tired eyelids. You settle onto a low cushion just beside an iron candelabra shaped like a weeping tree. The moment you sit, the flames seem to dim slightly, as if they're exhaling with you. You remember a strange tidbit someone once shared. Medieval monks used segmented sleep, They'd wake at midnight to pray, then sleep again until dawn. They even had a word for it: first sleep. What a gentle rebellion against modern productivity. Maybe you'll adopt the monk lifestyle, minus the 2 a.m. chanting. Your hands trail across the textured floor mat, woven straw slightly rough against your fingers. As you lie back, your body aligns slowly with the floor's warmth, like parchment curling toward heat. The room hums in silence, a low vibration, somewhere between hearing and feeling. It pulses like a memory, reminding you that sleep was once sacred. Imagine a priest in Mesopotamia lighting a ceremonial lamp beside a temple bed. Sleep wasn't just a biological necessity, it was a divine act of surrender. Dreaming, they believed, was how gods delivered messages, like heavenly post-it notes slipped beneath your pillow. You shift, and the hem of your robe, when did that appear? Rustles quietly. You feel old, but not tired. Old, eternal, old. The way a candle feels after burning through the night, still warm, still glowing at the edges. As your breath deepens, the candles seem to respond. Their flames bow toward you as if acknowledging your presence. One particularly fat candle spits slightly, throwing a single spark into the air. It hovers for a moment like a golden firefly and then dissolves into nothing. You blink, or maybe you didn't. In a place like this, even blinking feels optional. A memory not quite your own floats to the surface. Thomas Edison famously said, "Sleep was a waste of time." Ironically, he invented the light bulb and ruined everyone's circadian rhythm in the process. You chuckle quietly, and the sound is absorbed into the walls like rain into soil. More candles flicker. The air shifts, scented now with frankincense and something older, amber maybe. You begin to see shadows on the wall, not quite human. They move in slow procession. A pharaoh, holding an ankh, a Norse shaman sleeping beneath the northern lights, a grandmother in Kyoto folding her futon at dawn. Time collapses here. Sleep does not belong to one culture. It's the universal sigh. Even now, researchers study the glymphatic system, the brain's own night cleaning crew. When you sleep, cerebral fluid washes through your skull, clearing out toxins. Basically, your brain takes out the trash while you dream of spaghetti or spiders. One candle near your head flares slightly. Inside its glow, you swear you see something. An image? No, a memory. Your own this time. A rainy afternoon, tea, a nap so deep you forgot what year it was when you woke. You don't need to remember anymore. The candle will hold it for you. Your fingers grow heavy. The muscles around your jaw relax. You're still on the cushion, still in the room, but part of you has begun to drift. Just as your eyes soften shut, one last flame dances brighter than the others. You focus on it barely. A shape appears behind the flame, a doorway, a new space, a deeper layer of stillness. No need to knock. The candles are opening it for you. The door swings inward. The warmth behind you doesn't vanish. It follows. It lingers in your chest like a memory of sunlight. You rise, not hurriedly, not fully, but enough to step forward through the threshold into the forest of forgetting. You step quietly through the candlelit doorway and into the cool hush of the forest of forgetting. The air changes immediately. It smells like moss, rain-damp bark, and something a little sweet, maybe crushed violets or the leftover breath of a thunderstorm. The ground beneath your bare feet is soft, spongy with old pine needles and loamy soil. Each step makes a hushed sound, like turning the pages of an ancient book no one remembers writing. Trees arch above you, impossibly tall, their trunks thick and worn with time. Their leaves whisper in a language you're certain you once understood in a dream. A small breeze curls around your shoulders like a scarf. It's not cold, just curious. You move slowly, letting it lead you. The further you walk, the quieter your mind becomes. It's not gone, exactly, just unwinding. And that's the thing about this place. You don't forget everything, just the clutter, the noise, the I should haves, and what ifs. The forest of forgetting is selective like that, very discerning. Above, the moon filters through the trees like spilled milk. It paints the forest in a wash of silver blue. Occasionally, the light catches on something unexpected. A bit of glass, a curl of ribbon tied to a branch. Tokens, offerings, sleep souvenirs. You pause near an old cedar with bark like wrinkled knuckles. There's something wedged in a hollow, a wax seal pressed into an old envelope. You touch it, and instantly the forest shares a whisper. In the 17th century, some people believed sleeping under certain trees, like walnut or elder, would summon visions or even fairies. You glance upward. The cedar leans just slightly, as if eavesdropping on your thoughts. You smile. Maybe it is. Further in, the path dips slightly, and you follow it down. Ferns brush against your legs. A fox watches from a distance, its eyes bright and unblinking, but it doesn't move. It knows you're not here to stay. You duck under a branch, and something catches your eye, markings carved into the wood. Not words, symbols, spirals, stars, half-moons, a sleeping eye. Historians still argue whether these forest glyphs were territorial markers or spiritual protections. Some say they kept nightmares out. Some say they kept the dreamers in. You touch the symbol and instantly feel your shoulders drop a fraction lower. The tension that's been living in your spine since Tuesday, gone. The thought that tried to sneak into your head about emails, disarmed. A trickle of laughter flits through the trees, playful like a child's. Or maybe it's just the wind catching in the high branches. Either way, you don't chase it. You keep moving. The deeper you go, the stranger the forest becomes. Not frightening, just more dreamlike. Trees seem to bend toward you, their roots glowing faintly beneath the soil. Mushrooms line the trail in perfect spirals. Some are luminescent, others wear little moss caps like tiny green helmets. You pass a tree with bells tied to its branches, swaying gently. They make no sound. You pass a clearing full of feathers stuck into the earth like quills. You pass a stump where an old journal rests, open to a page that simply reads, "Sleep is a bridge, not a break." There's a rustling behind you, but it's not someone following, it's something leaving. Thoughts, perhaps, expectations. They fall away like dry leaves. A strange, happy thought. Did you know sea otters hold hands while they sleep so they don't drift apart? You imagine them floating, furry little blobs, tethered by trust and fluff. You chuckle softly, and the trees seem to lean in with approval. You come upon a wooden gate. No latch, no handle, just weathered planks, half covered in moss. But you don't hesitate. You push it gently, and it swings open with a sound like a yawn. Beyond it, the moonlight intensifies. The path is now lined with bioluminescent vines, glowing faintly green and blue, like underwater light. You walk on, your shadow trailing behind you like a pool. It's round, perfectly still, rimmed with smooth black stones. The surface reflects not your face, but a memory. Something soft, someone's voice, someone brushing your hair. You can't quite place it, but you feel it in your chest. A voice, not your own, says, "To dream, you must first become weightless." So you sit by the water's edge. You remove the day like a coat, fold it and lay it beside you. You inhale, exhale. Above you, the moon pauses, just for a moment, to look directly at you. You swear it winks. You lie back on the moss. The forest hums around you. It's not a song exactly, but it has rhythm. Maybe it's the way moss breathes, or the subtle yawns of tree branches. Time begins to stretch, not like a rubber band, but like honey, slow, golden, unbothered by clocks. You think briefly of an odd historical note. Leonardo da Vinci used a polyphasic sleep schedule, 20-minute naps every 4 hours. You briefly pity him. He clearly never found this forest. Your breath is shallow now, not from effort, but because air itself feels thicker, sleepier. You could nap inside a single inhale. The light shifts again. The trees begin to thin, and ahead, just past a willow, bending like a curtain, you see something new. Stone steps, covered in moss, slightly uneven, but inviting. At the top of the steps, a tall wooden door glows gently in the darkness. Carved into it is the symbol of an open eye and a closed one. Balance, awareness, and rest. Your feet carry you forward, no longer bothering to consult with your mind. The forest doesn't resist. It lets you go, like a mother kissing a child's forehead goodnight. You reach the door. You rest your hand on the wood. It's warm, breathing, maybe. You don't knock. The door opens. Inside, shelves, thousands of them. Scrolls, books, and journals line the walls like a paper ocean. The scent of ink and dust swirls around you like a story waiting to be read. You've arrived. Welcome to the Library of Lost Dreams. The air inside the Library of Lost Dreams is thick with silence. Not the heavy, awkward silence of waiting rooms or elevators. No, this is the sacred kind. The kind that wraps around your shoulders like a woolen shawl, warm and deeply familiar. The kind that reminds you to breathe slowly, and that even the dust motes seem to float with purpose. The door closes quietly behind you, sealing the forest out like a dream receding at dawn. You take your first step onto the stone floor. It doesn't echo. Somehow the sound is absorbed into the shelves, as if the library doesn't want to wake anyone or anything still dreaming in here. The ceiling arches impossibly high, disappearing into shadows. All around you, bookshelves twist and climb, spiral and weave in no logical pattern. Some float, others stretch like vines, curling into shapes that look suspiciously like sleeping faces. A lantern flickers to life beside you. No switch, no flame, just light, warm and golden. You follow its glow down a narrow corridor between towering shelves. As you walk, the titles begin to shimmer. Some are in languages you recognize: Latin, Greek, French. Others are written in curling pictographs or symbols that feel vaguely familiar, like déjà vu in alphabet form. And then a voice, not loud, but certainly there, whispers. Some of history's greatest ideas were dreamed into existence, literally. You smile, of course. You think of Elias Howe, whose dream of being attacked by spears inspired the invention of the sewing machine's needle. Or Mary Shelley, dreaming of a scientist haunted by his monstrous creation. Frankenstein was born of that uneasy night's sleep. You pause at a display case. Inside it sits a single scroll, glowing faintly blue. It hums just beneath hearing. You lean closer, and a soft wave of images washes into your mind. Sandstorms, pyramids, and a young child drawing stars in the dirt. Historians still argue whether ancient Egyptians kept dream journals as tools for divination or simply as personal reflection. Either way, they believed dreams held secrets, and those secrets were worth archiving. You turn a corner. Suddenly the corridor opens into a circular room. Walls stacked with scrolls that ripple gently as if stirred by an invisible wind. In the center sits a wide desk, and behind it an empty chair. But the room isn't empty, not really. On the desk lie several opened books. One contains a drawing of a man with wings strapped to his arms. Another shows a map of constellations no one's used in centuries. And another, scribbled in bold, smudged ink, the dream of a butterfly, or the butterfly of a dream. You run your fingers along the edge of the desk, and your skin tingles. This place remembers you, even if you don't quite remember it. Not yet. A soft fluttering fills the air, and above you, pages begin to fall. Not chaotically, more like drifting feathers. One lands on your shoulder. You lift it. It reads, Mozart claimed entire melody as came to him in sleep, complete and perfect. Another page floats by, blank on one side, but containing a hastily scribbled thought on the other. Sleep doesn't erase the world, it rearranges it. The thought settles into you like a warm cup of tea. You look up again, watching the pages fall more slowly now, like the library itself is growing drowsy. You wander through another archway into a smaller alcove. The air here is cooler, softer. A velvet bench sits before a dome ceiling, covered in a mosaic of sleeping figures from all corners of history. An Inuit child curled beneath the northern lights, a Mayan priest mid-ritual slumber, a Mongolian herder snoozing against a yak. Above them, stars twinkle faintly, not real stars, but lights that move like them, blinking in a rhythm that matches your breath. You sit. The bench sighs under your weight, as if it, too, has been waiting for someone to rest. A small drawer opens beside you. Inside, a single page. It's titled, Sleep Oddities Through GH History. You chuckle. Now this sounds promising. You read. In medieval Europe, people believed bad dreams came from demons called incubi, and sleeping with a piece of iron under the bed could ward them off. In parts of 18th century Britain, dream interpreters held town meetings to share their sleep visions, half gossip, half prophecy. Some 19th century scholars thought dreams were digestive hallucinations caused by too much cheese. You make a mental note. Skip the brie platter before bed. You close the drawer, and as you do, the lights above dim slightly. The library is growing quieter still. There's one final hallway. The floor here is made of polished obsidian, and as you walk, your reflection stretches beneath you like a shadow made of ink. You pass sealed doors labeled with names, not of people, but of emotions. Longing, wonder, grief, surrender. Each door vibrates slightly, as if echoing the dreams stored behind them. You pause before one labeled curiosity. You place your hand against the smooth surface. For a moment, you hear a heartbeat, then a burst of laughter, then a lullaby, in a language you've never learned but somehow understand. You let go. The hallway ends in a spiral staircase made of glass. You begin to climb, not hurriedly, slowly. Each step is gentle and deliberate, your body lighter with every motion. As you reach the top, a set of carved double doors swings open. Beyond, moonlight, stars, a slow, endless sky. You step out onto a balcony overlooking a dark, glimmering river. A stone pathway leads down to the water's edge. Something tugs you forward, not forceful, just patient. The scrolls, the books, the fluttering pages, they stay behind, but you carry them with you, tucked now into the folds of your breath, your thoughts, your skin. The library door closes quietly behind you. You don't look back. There's nothing to remember now, only what lies ahead. The river waits. You descend from the library of lost dreams, the glass staircase humming gently beneath your steps like a lullaby made from moonlight. Each step feels softer than the last, until you're not quite walking anymore, just drifting downward, as if gravity has lightened its grip on you out of sheer respect. At the bottom of the path, the river beneath time awaits. It stretches wide and mirror flat, the water black as ink and speckled with glimmering flecks of silver, like someone spilled the stars in it by accident and then thought, that looks nice. A small wooden boat rocks gently by the shore. No oars, no paddle, just waiting. And as you approach, it nudges itself closer, as if eager to help. You step in. The boat sighs a little under your weight in a friendly, about time kind of way. And without a sound, it begins to glide. The motion is barely perceptible, smooth as silk, slower than thought. The trees lining the riverbank begin to melt into shadow, placed by vast stretches of night and history. The world hushes, and you begin to float, not just on the water, but on something deeper. The river beneath time flows through memories older than language, through dreams never dreamt, through moments that never made the history books, but mattered all the same. Above you, constellations shift. Some you recognize, some you most certainly do not. A dragon curled around a question mark, a bear wearing spectacles, a loaf of bread. The sky doesn't take itself too seriously tonight. The air smells of distant rain and old parchment. You trail your fingers in the water. It's cool and strangely velvety, like dipping your hand into liquid night. And then the current shifts, and suddenly, like flipping pages, you begin to pass through scenes. To your left, a woman in ancient Sumer kneeling beside a clay tablet. Her eyes are heavy. She dips a reed into ink and begins to write. The cuneiform symbols aren't words, they're dreams, fragmented, strange, kneeling a tablet filled with lions and falling stars. Historians still argue whether these were religious visions, or the first documented nightmares. To your right, a Viking ship rocking in a storm, but no one's panicking. They're all asleep, literally asleep. One man is snoring into a fur cloak, clutching a carved charm to his chest. A storm is no match for a tired crew and a deep cultural trust in fate. The boat drifts on. A fact bubbles up, uninvited but welcome. Salvador Dali practiced micro-napping, sitting in a chair with a spoon in hand, ready to drop it as soon as he fell asleep, catching surreal images in that liminal in-between. You picture him, mustache twitching, slumped in a velvet chair, probably muttering, "Ah, yes, melting clocks again." The river flows, the boat rocks, the world rearranges. You pass under a stone bridge with no visible supports, just ancient arches held together by quiet magic and structural determination, carved into the side. Time isn't real, but dreams, oh, they're terribly honest. You nod, even though no one's watching, especially because no one is watching. Next, a ripple in the river stirs a new vision. A scholar in Tang Dynasty China, head resting on a scroll. Ink smudges her cheek. In her dream, she's flying over a jade forest, chased by a laughing moon. You watch her breathe, the rise and fall of her chest, like a metronome of peace. The boat glides into a section of river that narrows, enclosed now by hanging vines dripping with dew. The stars above grow faint, and for a moment, it feels like you've drifted underwater without getting wet. A thought tugs at the edges of your brain. Some indigenous cultures believe dreams are not personal, but communal. That when you dream, you briefly return to the place your soul came from, and your ancestors meet you there. The river shimmers in agreement. You lean back in the boat, head resting against the curve of the wooden side. The wood is smooth, worn by countless dreamers before you. It holds your shape, like it's memorizing your outline. Far off, you hear singing. No words, just sound, deep and layered, like whales conversing in cathedral chambers. The boat hums with it. Your heartbeat aligns. You pass a floating lantern, then another. Each glows with a faint image inside. A child riding a cloud, a bird made of letters, a stone staircase that loops into the sky. You think briefly. Einstein believed his theory of relativity came to him in a dream. He was sledding down a hill, faster and faster, chasing the speed of light. That's the kind of brain that dreams in equations while the rest of us dream about showing up to work with no pants. Still, no judgment. This river holds both kinds. Your breath deepens, the lines of your face soften. You are no longer the one traveling. The river is carrying you entirely. And then, just as gently as you entered, the scenery begins to open again. The vines lift, the water widens. Ahead, you see it, a stone temple, lit only by the soft blue of twilight. Boo, ilt not of one era, but many, columns from Greece. Doors like those in Angkor Wat, a roof curved like a Shinto shrine. A patchwork of devotion, the boat slows, noses up to the edge. Stops. You rise, stepping onto the mossy stone steps. The river licks the edge once more, then quietly backs away, its job done. You climb slowly. The wind shifts, carrying with it the scent of jasmine and snow. The temple doors swing open. No effort, no noise, just welcome. You enter. Welcome to the Temple of Stillness. You pass through the open doors of the Temple of Stillness, and the hush that greets you is different from any silence you've known before. It doesn't simply mean no sound. It means presence. It means surrender. It means sleep is not the absence of activity, but the sacred pause where life gathers its strength again. The air inside the temple is cool but comforting, like freshly laundered sheets after a summer rain. The space is vast, but it doesn't feel empty. It feels vast the way a breath is vast. Every surface seems to glow with a faint inner light. The floors, the columns, the very walls themselves. No flames, no bulbs, no obvious source. Just light that is. You walk slowly. Every footstep lands with gentle certainty. There's no need to rush here. Time is lounging barefoot on a silk pillow somewhere in the corner. At the center of the temple is a sunken pool. The water is perfectly still and reflects the ceiling above, which, strangely enough, holds no decoration. Only the smooth texture of night sky, rippling with stars that move gently as you breathe. A soft voice inside your mind whispers, "This temple was built for no god, and for every god." You move around the pool to a carved stone dais. On it, a long cushion rests, soft as a whisper. You sit, and then lie down. And just like that, your body gives in. You are not collapsing, not falling, just easing, a slow melt into the surface beneath you, like wax, like dusk. The temple knows you're here. Somewhere behind you, a bell rings once. Not a sound to wake you, but to mark your crossing. You've left the world of should and must far behind. A scent rises, myrrh and sandalwood and something older, maybe time itself, ground into powder and carried on the breeze. Above, something changes. The ceiling fades, the stars grow bolder, and the temple opens to the sky. And now, stories come. Not books, not words, just fragments. experiences pressed like flowers between pages of your bones. Ye, who feel them more than see them. A woman in ancient Babylon, lighting oil lamps beside a child's bed, singing an ancient lullaby that still hums in your chest. A philosopher in Athens, reclining under olive trees, murmuring to no one in particular that sleep may be the only time we are truly free. A Japanese monk bowing before a stone idol before curling up in his robes, asking for a dream that will reveal which path to take at sunrise. They are not yours, and yet they are, because in this temple, history is not something you study, it's something you are. A warm breeze flows over your body like a river of silk. Every limb relaxes further. You've stopped measuring time now. Even breath seems optional. Historians still argue whether early humans believed dreams were messages from the dead or just brain static. But in this temple, neither answer matters, because this is not a place for questions, only rest. A memory flickers. Napoleon famously bragged that he only needed 4 hours of sleep, and again, he also lost at Waterloo. So maybe don't follow his bedtime routine. You smile a little despite yourself. Your cheeks soften, your jaw loosens. There is no weight left on your chest. Not from thought, not from time, not from the world. Around you, figures begin to appear. Not ghosts, not people, just shapes of sleep. You sense a mother sleeping beside her newborn, a poet curled around a notebook, a child clinging to a plush bear, both snoring in sync. None of them disturb you, they only add to the stillness. You are no longer a traveler, you are the temple now. You are the stillness. You are the place sleep visits to rest. You feel yourself fade, not away, but inward, like a stone dropping into a lake that never makes a splash, just a gentle ripple through the universe. And now, a quiet finale begins. Not an ending, just the part where everything holds its breath. A final image begins to form before you. A tree, ancient, blossoming in the middle of the temple, though it wasn't there a many of them moment ago. Its leaves shimmer like moonlight trapped in silk. Its trunk is smooth, almost breathing. You realize it has grown from your rest. This sleep is not escape. It is creation. It is healing. It is divine. You nestle deeper into the cushion. One final exhale escapes your lips. Long and slow and absolutely complete. The temple watches over you. The river is quiet. The forest is still. The library sleeps. The candle room flickers. And you, yes, you are held. Just a little longer. Just until morning. Let everything around you soften now. The temple fades into a hush, like a dream slowly folding into the folds of your pillow. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to think, nothing left to carry. Your breath is slower now, longer, fuller, like waves reaching a gentle shore. With each inhale, imagine cool night air filling your chest, and with each exhale, release everything that no longer belongs to you. You are no longer a visitor in this story. You are part of it now, etched into its fabric like the stars into the sky. Let your arms grow heavy, warm, and still. Let your legs relax, soft and slow. Let your jaw unclench, your brow smooth. Let your whole body float in the softness that surrounds you. There is nothing to figure out, no dream you must chase, only this moment, this gentle, golden space. You are safe, you are enough, you are already whole. Let the night hold you now as it has held so many before you. Let sleep take you without question, like a story that knows its ending. And when morning comes, you'll wake refreshed, restored, and returned to yourself. But for now, sleep deeper, softer, longer. Good night, my friend.